All right, I'm trying this again because I kind of just lost my train of thought and just sort of blankly stared at the screen for more than 10 seconds. And for me, that's totally unacceptable. Just blankly staring at a camera like a retard. Just, um, but today, I wanted to try talking about something that I've wanted to do a video on for a while, but I just never really knew how to approach it exactly because I have the fears of being perceived as like a pretentious moderate, essentially someone who, you know, thinks of himself as an intellectual merely because he doesn't, pick a side on issues. But I also kind of think that, you know, with most issues, there's two, at least two ways of looking at it, two sides, so to speak. I think having to like pick a side is typically stupid. Not that I necessarily think there's a middle ground, but I typically think there's like why can't I have some more nuanced way of looking at an issue? Why do issues typically have to be broken down to left, right, black, white, feminist, anti-feminist, whatever, atheist, theist, um, just name it. Any left, right, false dichotomy you can think of. Um, I just think the idea of like picking a side is dumb. Um, and I also kind of think labels are stupid. I think they can be useful, but I think they lend themselves to ideological laziness and people just not thinking and people thinking that just by seeing five of your labels that they know everything there is to know about you, like, oh, they're a democrat, an atheist, a vegan, so I know everything I need to know about them. I don't need to talk to them and exchange ideas with them and really get down to the minutia of what they think and how they view things. Um, so that's one reason why I don't really like labels. I tend to stay away from them. I also think communities that are centered around labels, which might sound like an odd thing to say. Most people think their communities are centered around ideas, when in reality they're centered around identities and labels. Communist circles, socialist circles, alt right circles, neo Nazi circles, vegan circles, any community you can think of. It's not about ideas, it's about the identity. That's what it's really about. Most people think it's about the ideas. No, it's about the identity. It's about the tribal bullshit. um, this semester I took a African politics class and I learned about ethnic politics in various parts of Africa. And I think there's a really strong comparison and strong argument to be made that politics in the West, specifically in the U.S., because I live in the U.S. and I have the most experience with American politics, um, that affiliations with political parties has very little to do with ideas and has, at least on a surface level, in a very shallow way, it has something to do with ideas. But in reality, it's more about the identity of itself than anything else. Um, and if I could ever do some study or do some research to verify that, to me, that research could serve as like the greatest critique of politics in America, in my view. Because it basically be a way of saying, you people are a bunch of retards who don't actually think about what you're doing. You just look for the R or the D. Are they a Republican? Are they a Democrat? you know, my tribe. You know, um, so that's something that bugs the shit out of me. Uh, people think they're these intelligent and inquisitive philosophical intellects, when in reality you're a bunch of fucking partially civilized chimps with smartphones, some access to the internet, porn, and microwavable food. Yeah, that's all you are. If if anyone's familiar with George Carlin, you might. I don't know if I really consider that a reference, but Carlin once had a joke, saying that most people are semi-civilized, partially civilized beast with baseball caps and machine guns. That's humanity in a nutshell. Um, and I think that's true. So, um, so where was I going? Society being divided over, petty labels and identities, and me not wanting to be perceived as some, pretentious moderate, who thinks he's the true intellect. So I don't think that, but I think the problems that I see, um, explicitly, or I don't know, that's the right word to use. The problems that I see is it seems like, so because of the labeling, because of the identities, people think that, like, oh, I already know your ideas because, you identify as a Republican. So, so it means you think this, and this. And there might be some truth to that, typically, because generalizations exist for a reason, which I hate generalizations, but I acknowledge that they exist for a reason. I like jokes that play on stereotypes. I think any joke that plays on a stereotype is funny and great. Um, but I typically hate, generalizations in the realms of ideas or philosophy. I think that's kind of the like a philosophical equivalence of exposing yourself to like lethal levels of radiation. It's like once you start doing it, once you expose yourself to like, a little bit, I don't even know a good comparison of it. I just view it as toxic and disgusting and nasty, and it just makes you sick. And the more of it you're exposed to, the sicker you are. The more you do it, the sicker and the dumber you are. So fuck anyone who thinks in generalizations. It's gross. Bleh. But it so you have people who like think they like already understand their opposition without even talking to them, and then that leads to the demonization because they could say, oh well, they're against this and they want this, so that makes them evil. So fuck them. um, which I find to be stupid. Like, if I were to, I don't know, take one issue, maybe look at like, economics and how to make the world a more equitable place. And a lot of socialists, for example, they want more distribution of wealth, essentially, and take more right wing, capitalists. They don't want that. But I think that both these camps, the people that are in favor of a free market and the people that are in favor of not a free market, who are in favor of redistributing wealth, I think they both want the same things for people. I don't think both of them want people to starve and go without and be homeless and sick and live horrible lives. But they just have like two different ways of thinking that those things can be, that people can get those things. Like, the capitalists think that it can arrive through a free market or even a somewhat regulated market, whilst communist socialist types think that it can arrive through redistribution of wealth, the means of production being within the hands of workers. And maybe there's some truth to that, and I think there's some validity to that. But I also think there's some validity to a market and trade and people being able to benefit off of their hard work and innovations as well. I think there's merits to both of these ideas. But yet I don't consider, I'm not the moderate. I don't know where I am. All I'm trying to say is maybe ideas aren't as simple as a fucking up down left right political compass. Okay? And maybe making generalizations based on an up down left right political compass is dumb and bad and shouldn't be done. Um, so that's it. That's it. That's it. I don't know how to make humans less less divided. Um, I haven't figured that one out. I don't think anyone has. So um, I, I hope this made sense. I really do. Anyone who's taken the time to watch this video, even for just 10 seconds, I do. But if you've made it this far, you've made it this far, and I really appreciate you. So hopefully I can do maybe another one tomorrow. Maybe another one in a few days. I don't know. You know, there's one YouTube channel I used to watch. I'm still subscribed to them. I haven't watched them in a while, but the guy who in the video, they're like comedic videos, like kind of satirical videos, making fun of like bodybuilding and fitness, the fitness community. And he would always end his videos saying like new videos every week, every so often, every whenever I get to doing them. He would always change like new videos every whatever. He would always change it because he puts out a video maybe once a month or once every 2 months, and I think because of that his videos are a lot better, are actually funny and well made, well thought out. So so it's just, sorry again for that little tangent. So, but hopefully I can be a little bit more frequent than once a month or once every 2 months. Hopefully I can be a few times a week. So that would be nice. So thanks again for anyone who's taken the time to watch this video. I truly, truly appreciate it. So hope you enjoyed it. And I guess hopefully I would say I'll see you next time, but I'm not going to see you. So you'll see me. So you'll see me next time. Yeah. Bye.